Business news this afternoon, and as Ghana readies to re-enter the capital markets, President John Dramani Mahama has hinted at tackling borrowing as a government financing measure innovatively. Government had earlier stated that a process will be undertaken with enhanced collaboration with development partners and other stakeholders. President Mahama, who was speaking at the 60th annual meeting of the African Development Bank in Abidjan, said the new approach to government financing will ensure investment in the most productive sectors of the economy.
We're left with just 3% of the debt. We've covered 97%. It's left with the commercial creditors who hold just about 3% of the debt. And once we do that, then it means that the whole debt restructuring has been completed. But like I said when I spoke at first, I said we need to put any credit that we take or any debt that we take into the most productive parts of our economy in providing infrastructure, so that you can have a rate of return on debt. You must do smart borrowing, taking debt where you can create debt escrows so that the income for which you invested the credit can go to repay. For instance, expressways that are tolled, where the toll revenues are escrowed so that they go to pay the expressway in 25 years or so. I think that these are the kinds of things that we should do. There are many examples. For instance, we built a first-class port, and that again did not sit on our public debt. We made our Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and their partners, Meridian Port Services, build the ports, which cost us about $1 billion, and that port is paying for itself, and that debt does not sit on our books. We built a new airport terminal we call Terminal 3. And again, we built it on the balance sheet of the Ghana Airports Company Limited. And so that project is paying for itself without sitting on our public debt. And so these are some of the innovative ideas that we need to introduce in order that our debts continue to be sustainable.
Let's engage Dr. Philip Takyi, who is a seasoned financial security expert and a member of the Customer Advisory Board for the Bank of America. Now, Dr. Takyi, this is quite refreshing news. What do you make of government's move to re-enter the capital market?
Well, so thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And greetings to your discerning viewers and listeners, as the case may be. Let me quickly start by saying it was quite refreshing listening to President Mahama's proposition to re-engage the sovereign bond market in concert with the IMF, development finance institutions, the Ghana Stock Exchange, and the document says the domestic banking institutions. This goes to represent a pragmatic and strategic recalibration of Ghana's capital markets policy. And I must also commend our able Finance Minister, Dr. Ato Forster, and his team for this initiative, especially after a prolonged period of sovereign credit deterioration and exclusion from the Eurobond market experienced in recent past, largely due to fiscal indiscipline and unsustainable debt trajectories. If this is well implemented, it will go a long way to signal a clear intention to restore macro fiscal credibility and re-anchor investor expectations. Let me say that the collaboration with the IMF is particularly crucial, not merely for access to concessional financing, but more importantly, for the signaling effect it conveys to the global capital markets. I also support the involvement of local financial intermediaries and the Ghana Stock Exchange. I see this strategy goes to align with local market dynamics, with harnessing the IMF's credibility to attract private capital investment.
And considering this, what do you think should be measures that we should consider as government readies to re-enter this market?
I'd like to recommend that reopening the bond market must be sequenced with rigorous public financial management reforms, transparent debt restructuring processes, and enhanced fiscal discipline. It's essential to note that the investor sentiment hinges on policy credibility and predictability. Basically that Additionally, we must ensure that the domestic banks are not just passive holders of public debt, but are also empowered to actively participate in market making, underwriting, and the development of the yield curve. The Ghana Stock Exchange must be positioned as a diversified platform for long-term capital mobilization beyond government securities. Let me conclude by saying that this initiative, if executed with technocratic precision and a commitment to structural transformation, it can catalyze.
All right, Doc, thank you very much. That's Dr. Philip Takyi. He's a seasoned financial security expert.